Hi guys, some time ago, former Deputy Chair of the Conservative Party and now MP for Reform UK, Lee Anderson, said the quiet part out loud when he told us what the Conservative Party's approach will be to try and win the election. They can't use Boris or Brexit, it will be the culture war. So instead of introducing policies that would assist the NHS or help those who are struggling with the cost of living crisis, they instead have gimmicks that further the culture war and cost no money. But spending money on ordinary people is the absolute opposite of what the Tories want to do. Here Labour MP Imran Hussain called out Michael Gove's latest battle in the culture war, branding people who disagree with his party as extremists.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and let us be clear in this House and call this what it is, Madam Deputy Speaker. What it isn't is a serious and genuine attempt to address a very important issue. What it is, Madam Deputy Speaker, is a further draconian attempt to continue with the Tory agenda of culture wars. And it's disappointing that countless civil liberties groups, including 3 of his own former Home Secretaries, have warned him against politicising such an important issue, but it seems it's fallen on deaf ears. But if the Secretary of State is serious about addressing these issues, let me ask him in this House today to firstly condemn the extremist, vile, dangerous language used by some of his own backbenchers, and to also Tory donors bankrolling his own party.
Yeah, well done. Well, I thank the Honourable Gentleman for his intervention, but I hope he will appreciate from the tone between the front benches that both I and the Honourable Lady are determined not to politicise this, but to make sure that we can operate consensually. Of course, there'll be debate and challenge and difference of opinion and emphasis in what we seek to do, but it's a shared endeavour, and indeed we've been working with independent figures like John Walney, Lord Walney, in order to achieve consensus here. And I'm sorry that he feels that it's necessary to make a party political point about my colleagues. I extend to him the same courtesy that I extend to every member of this House, respecting his mandate and respecting his voice, and not indulging in that sort of unfortunate personalisation.
My goodness, what a slimy individual. I really hate Michael Gove and I hope he loses his seat at the next election. Don't politicise this. You have Suella Braverman, you have Liz Truss politicising this. Talking about how there's an invasion when it comes to immigrants, or talking about people marching, using their democratic right to march in the streets as calling them dangerous, and not the language they have used themselves. And when it comes to the Tory donor who called for an MP to be shot, no, let's not politicise this. Let's just move on. This is what I really hate about Michael Gove, because notice how he stopped when he was being interrupted. He tries to put on this persona, this facade of, I'm actually a caring politician. I care about what people have to say. It's all fake. It's all a front. He doesn't care about what people say. He lies through his teeth. He's really good at manipulating people and manipulating the truth. This is all part of the culture war because the Tories have nothing left. Lee Anderson said it himself. We can't run on Boris. We can't run on the economy. We can't run on Brexit. We can't run on anything. We can't, because a lot of these things that we would try to run on would involve investing in public services. It would include investing in people, but we don't want to invest in ordinary people. We just want to funnel more and more money from the public sector into the private sector, and of course the private sector being our donors and our friends. The guy at the centre of this crisis, the guy who donated £10 million to the Conservative Party, has received hundreds of millions of pounds in contracts. Now, shouldn't that be scrutinised? What's happening there? And what other donors to the Conservative Party have received massive contracts? What was the reason for them to receive those contracts? Is it related to their donation to the Conservative Party? And what sort of language have they used in the past? Now, of course, Frank Hester is not going to not going to have this money returned to him because the Conservatives rely so much upon him. He's one of their, if not the biggest donor. So they're not going to return that money because then they'd have no money left. Rishi Sunak could fund the party. Rishi Sunak's wife could fund the party. But they would prefer, no, we want to rely on external people. People who lend their helicopter to Rishi Sunak to travel around. It's absolutely corrupt. And instead of actually focusing on the failures of the last 14 years and the corruption within the system, they want people to be angry with foreigners or angry with people protesting or angry with something. It's a distraction. And unfortunately, Michael Gove is very good at distracting people. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.